Pennsylvania, digging out after the big storm that they, media and meteorologists, tried to make out the storm of the century. Got to be quite honest, while it was a big storm and certainly hit a big swath of America, I wouldn't call it the storm of the century by any measure, even a massive storm, because quite frankly, I've seen bigger storms. When I first moved to this part of Pennsylvania a few years back, when I came from Ethiopia, we had about twice as much snow as this in about a 48-hour period, and we were buried under snow and got dug out pretty quickly. So here I am now, and I just want to show you, kind of a little bit about the snow. Somebody's got a disused Christmas tree back there. That's kind of lame. Looks like they tossed the rubbish back there. But even in this local small park, people have taken the time to clear the sidewalk. You can see here. Look at that. They plowed the sidewalk, got ahead of themselves. And there are advantages to the snow and cold weather. Yeah, what are they? Well, you probably might wonder. Well, for one thing, check out where my iced tea is located at. You see it there? Right over there. Hang on. That's what we call natural refrigeration. Did the same thing when I was in the Army in Germany in the wintertime on exercise, trying to keep our drinks cold. Go outside, bury them in the snow, and get them out a little bit later on. It's quite a nice thing. Anyway, the storm has been hectic. I understand a few fatalities, like in New York City and other places. Probably people who were out on the street without any abri, without any place to stay, which is unfortunate. But Texas has seen a lot of snow apparently, but more and more ice, and this caused a lot of problems. We had 12,000 flights canceled on Saturday or Sunday, another 11,600 canceled today around the country. But the National Transportation Safety Board and the Department of Transportation said that flights should be back to normal by Wednesday as this thing moves out. But I have some bad news, potentially disappointing news. I've been contacted by Brendy in Texas, and she's saying that the people that offer the venue are pulling out because they're concerned they're buried under snow, and the sound system people are pulling out, and a bunch of other people are pulling out. So the forces are conspiring to undermine or cancel the meet and greet in Texas. Well, I've paid for a flight and I've paid for a rental car, and I'm not getting my money back, although I think I can get it back. And it's a question of scheduling too. I can't just leave the next week and do the same thing. It has to be on a weekend. So it's problematic. I will evaluate whether we're going to continue with the big meet and greet, but my plan at the moment here on Monday, so I'm not supposed to leave till Thursday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, got 3 more full days before my flight, 3 days from today for my flight. My plan at the moment is to continue with the meet and greet. I don't know what the venue will be. Maybe it'll be a Starbucks. Maybe it'll be at a park somewhere. It would be cold. I don't know. But I promised to come to Texas, and I intend to fulfill my promise. And I've already paid for a flight and for a rental vehicle. So we'll have to see what happens here about going forward. So I'm working on that now. But bad news that the people offering the site are buried under snow, and it's Texas, so I guess they're not really accustomed to the snow. I'm not really sure what the deal is. And people are, in my view, probably panicking about what's going on. But here in Pennsylvania, the roads are already been cleaned up. People are already getting out and about. So, hang on. Just trying to show you here, traffic moving pretty freely in the town behind me there. So there you can see, there's a mountain in the back distance there. People's flags fluttering a local park. And there's a lot of traffic driving through town here. And now when I put that up, there's no traffic. Any other time, there's tons of cars going by. But give it a moment here, and hopefully cars will come by. The roads are clear, the sidewalks are clear, the highways are clear. So, and of course, any other time this road is packed, but I guess a lot of people are staying in right now. And so not one car comes by, and as soon as I turn it around, there goes a car. As soon as I turn around. Anyway, so, all right, well, enough of that. So I guess they were all stuck at a traffic light or whatever, a robot. So now they're coming through, and they're moving pretty good pace at the speed limit. So look, it's winter time. These things happen, and I still plan on going to Texas. So if I have to cancel, I will let people know. But as of right now, I plan on going to Texas. That's the plan. Now, I intend to do this broadcast from a local park that's not too far from where I live. Unfortunately, they have the gates closed, and it's just as well because my sedan never would have gotten through the snow. The snow was up to my knee. So that's about it's about 2 feet, a little over, about 2 feet, almost 2 feet. So I would never have been able to drive through that with my sedan. So now every car in the Brothers coming by. Look at this. Come on, come on. I want to show you those cars, but now they're not coming through. There we go. Here we go. I hear one. Now that's the wind. It's the wind. Oh, one just went by. It's just how it works. Anyway, so what does that say? During the Angolan Bush War in the Namib Desert, we buried our beer under the sand and put petrol on it. Okay, well that's interesting. Thank you for sharing that. But no beer here. Yeah, so anyway, so my drink is getting nice and cold right now. But I just wanted to show you that things are moving. People are up and about here in Pennsylvania. They're not mobilized, not trapped by the weather. And this was the place that on the map was hit the worst by the snow. Supposedly we had the worst of it. I know that we had about 6 inches before I went out and cleared the sidewalk and cleared my car off and cleared things up. But services aren't quite back to normal. I went to the post office in a local village, and the post office is closed, although the postal employees are at the building. Not sure why the post office boxes are closed. I had to collect some mail. I could see it in my box through the window, through the door, but I couldn't get in. So not everything's back to normal. But I think things will turn pretty quickly to normal here. Temperature is much warmer than it was yesterday. Temperature yesterday was down around 12, 14 degrees Fahrenheit. Today it's up over 20. So it feels quite warm, actually. Even though it's quite cold, it feels a lot warmer than it was yesterday. So, you know, that's just the way things are. But the flags are fluttering in the wind here. Somebody across the street has an American flag on their property. The small park has a flag. But I couldn't get into the main park because of that gate being closed. And like I said, I couldn't get in the post office. So some services from the government are shut down. It's an abundance of prudence. I mean, I understand why they do that. People are up and moving. I feel bad for people whose electricity goes out or their gas line, something happens. But as of right now, my communications, my heat, my electricity are all still up and functional. And so I'm grateful for that. Sometimes in the wintertime, be grateful for the small things. But yeah, so for those of you who've never experienced the winter, yes, it does get cold. My feet are starting to get cold standing here on the ground. It's a little bit chilly, a little bit of snow under my feet there. I've got boots on. Yes, I'm wearing trousers. So a little bit cold there. But that's because I'm wearing basically typical combat boots. One's for a warmer environment, not for the winter time. Winter boots are left at home because I'm only out for a little bit. Anyway, I want to come out and let you guys know that as of right now, the what's happening in Texas is kind of up in the air. I don't know what's going to happen, if we're going to have the meet and greet or not, if the people will come back in with the venue and the sound people. But I think people in Texas just seem to be, at least that part of Texas, aren't that accustomed to the weather. And so they're having a hard time adjusting to it. They're also, in my view, I could be wrong. Maybe on Saturday things will be just as bad there. But it appears based on the projections for weather and also the fact that we're talking days from now, which gives road crews time to clean the roads. It gives people time to ice the roads. It gives people time to clear up and shovel out the snow. That's days away. We're talking Saturday. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 5 days from now before the meet and greet, and people are saying, let's cancel it, let's take the venue away. So a little bit frustrated and disappointed, but I wasn't paying people for the venue, so I really don't have a say in this matter, and I appreciate their caution. But again, I'm not in Texas, but I can tell you that that's not the way I grew up. I grew up a lot hardier, so. Anyway, I was talking to some lady who's 72 over here trying to drop her mail in the post office, and she and I were chatting on the street there. And I said, well, the front door's locked. She goes, oh, man, things are not the way they used to be. I said, nope, it's not like when we grew up. She said, well, I'm a little older than you. I said, well, not too much, but the country has changed. We've become softer in so many ways. This is a country built by hardy people who escaped persecution, who escaped religious persecution and racial persecution and political persecution. And those who sought economic opportunity moved to this country and built this country together with some folks that were already here and those who were imported, as slaves, unfortunately, in the beginning. But we built a country that was built on resilience and drive and fortitude. And at times it just seems like in the 21st century, we've become a wussified country. We really seem to have become a wussified country with all these safeguards we put in place and look, some safeguards are necessary. But even though it's in the 20s, the temperature's warm enough on roofs, and I'm watching the water drip off of this roof over here from the sunlight hitting the roof and melting the snow. So, even when it's cold, snow melts. You watch a special on Greenland, you'll see that. Look at the glacier. The snow does melt. Anyway, folks, I just wanted to come out and share a few minutes with you guys and let you know that things are looking pretty good here in Pennsylvania in the aftermath of the snowstorm. Once again, there you go. You can see flag waving proudly in the air right there. There's a mountain in the background over there. But this is here in Pennsylvania. So, and you see the walk has been cleaned up. Even in a little park like this, which probably nobody's actually using all that much. I know I've never come to this park and seen a single person here. It's a local park dedicated to a former member of the state government. Very small park between two houses. Someone donated a lot, probably where that guy grew up, and turned into a park. But even here, I've never seen anybody ever come here. I come here occasionally, make videos, and since the main park I would go to was locked up today because of the weather, they blocked the gate, then I figured I'd come here rather than drive around the countryside. Anyway, I just want to let you guys know things are good, and hopefully we can get the meet and greet happening, but no guarantees on that. Anyway, I'm getting kind of hungry, so I'm going to head back. You see I'm wearing ski gloves, so my hands are perfectly warm out here. These are ski gloves. They stay warm for very low temperatures and keep you warm. Anyway, let me get my tea out of the snow. And let's see if my natural refrigeration has worked, how cold it is. Oh yeah, that's cold. That's cold. Let me put it back in the fridge. All right, guys. Take care. Thanks a lot. Appreciate you all being here. And I'll be making another video about the behavior of some people in the streams today, but not in this stream. All right. Cheers. Take care of yourself. Be well.